cannot believe we're doing this. For those of us who love jewelry, we realize what a true rarity it is to be able to offer you real Burmese rubies and real genuine white zircon to the tune of about 6 carats total weight, depending on which one you are looking at. And I want to tell you too, for a handful of you, we have a matching necklace that's $5.99. For a handful of you, we have a matching ring that's going to be $2.19. And for about 13 of you, we have a matching earring. So you can ask about those pieces, but our showstopper
I'm wearing the earring.
is this
so beautiful,
gorgeous bracelet. Look at the quality of rubies. This is not a pink ruby, a purple ruby. This is what in the industry they refer to as pigeon blood red. And then throughout, you're getting those gorgeous white zircons, the mill graining. So when people look at this, I promise you, they're going to think it was an antique because you just don't see genuine rubies available on the market anymore. If you go into a big retail store, what you see for the most part are lab-created rubies. And not to say that they're not pretty, but when we can get the real thing, Mother Nature's gift to us at a fraction of what even the lab-created would cost, why not? So today, almost a $700 bracelet at $289. I'm going to pick this one up. Carol's already wearing it, but I'm going to showcase it for you back with the matching ring. You know, July is just around the corner. This is the July birthstone, but it's also the stone that represents the entire season of summertime. This is a stone, you know, that has the fire and the excitement of a summer night. And then, yeah, this is the classic nature of a bracelet that could have been an heirloom passed down to you from generation to generation. Certainly it will become an heirloom in your jewelry collection. So we have 7 or 7.5 available. And Carol, you really outdid yourself with this one.
Okay, so what makes this ruby bracelet so special? It's dainty, it's beautiful color, but what makes it a collectible? What makes it a true rarity? May I borrow that for one moment?
Yes.
Thanks. I'm going to show you, and I'm going to tell you what makes this a true rarity and why anybody who is a collector of fine gemstones is going to want this. This is, there we go. These are Burmese rubies from Miramar. Now, if you're saying to yourself, Carol, what is a Burma ruby from Miramar? Well, since 2008, President Obama put a ban on getting rubies out of Burma. But Burma is the finest quality ruby in the world. Only a few months ago was that ban lifted, and small amounts of Burmese rubies can come into the United States. Burmese rubies are known as the finest rubies in the world. Now, when I talk to you about how rare, first of all, these are real pigeon blood. We use the term pigeon blood to describe most rubies, but most rubies are actually a lighter, more orange color. These truly are the gemstones that are used in the high jewelers, in the Cartiers, in the Van Cleef & Arpels, in the Harry Winston. This is not a big bracelet. This is a dainty bracelet. This is so incredibly special to be able to own something like this. A pigeon blood ruby from Burma has a very distinctive fluorescence. It's got the color that no other ruby does. Connie explained to you that these are all natural from the earth. These are not enhanced. They are basically flawless. They have a little bit of silk in them, but these are the finest rubies in the entire world. To give you an idea of how rare fine rubies are, and that means not glass filled and not enhanced, 50 million carats of diamond are produced every year, 50 million, okay? 5 million carats of emeralds are produced and mined each year. Less than 2 million carats of ruby are mined in a year. Rubies of this quality are more rare and more expensive than diamonds. I've paired to make this an affordable bracelet so that several of you can own true Burmese rubies, and you can see the color. Okay, I love the ring that I'm wearing more than anything, but you can see the color, the difference in the color of the ruby. There is no color like a Burmese ruby. There is nothing on the market. It is very difficult to find a Burmese ruby. Imagine, they weren't allowed in the United States since 2008, so it was almost 9 years. The ban has just been lifted. I have friends that went to Miramar, and they went to Burma, and they smuggled back Burmese rubies because you couldn't bring them into the United States. And now we have the opportunity to do so. These are not beautiful African, and African rubies are beautiful, don't get me wrong. These are Burmese. This is the highest ruby that you can get. Now, color is the most significant factor affecting a ruby's value. There is nothing else that affects a ruby's value more than color. The finest rubies in the world, which these are pure and vibrant. They're red to purple. Now, they're not orange. They've got almost a blue-purple tint to them. I paired them with white natural zircon so that I can create an almost affordable, affordable for most people, not for every person, but an affordable way to buy into a gemstone that a handful of women in the world, in the entire world, own. Rubies are so spectacular. Harry Winston was the king of diamonds, but his wife, Edna Winston, was the queen of rubies. Rubies are known to be the king of all gemstones. She loved rubies so much, and rubies are incredibly hard. Next to a diamond, a ruby and a sapphire are the hardest gemstones. She loved rubies so much, it was said that Mr. Winston would go to Burma, because this is back in the 1940s and 50s, and he would bring the gemstones home, only Burmese rubies for her, and he would keep them in his pockets, and he would hand her the loose gemstones and ask her, how would you like your rubies? And I've seen her personal ruby collection long after she was gone and Mr. Winston was gone. Their son, who was my boss for many years, shared with me the original pieces from the 1930s and 40s of her ruby collection. I must tell you, if the man that could have any gemstone in the world gave his wife Burmese rubies, I think it might be a great opportunity for you to get them too.
Okay, do us a favor, hang in there. We have just a couple seconds left on this. We do have a handful of these remaining. We're gonna be showing you the matching earrings, the matching necklace, the matching ring, but honestly, the bracelet. This is a bracelet of a lifetime. You don't hear me say that very often, but this is. To be able to get true Burmese ruby, collectible Burmese rubies. And again, I'll remind you, it's about 6 carats, depending on which one you're choosing in terms of the size. Anywhere you go, we say the appraised price would be almost $700. We're doing it for $289, and you get it home for under $70 on your charge card. So we still have so much more to come in the final 30 minutes of Rarities' big anniversary. But before we do that, we're also celebrating our birthday. We're going to